What is up, everyone? We are here with the NASCAR Circuit of the Americas race review, also known as COTA. Let's jump right in. So overall, this was a really good race. A lot of chaos. Definitely lives up to the usual excitement. Let's go to lap 1. So lap 1, right off the start, Carson Hocevar gets into Bubba Wallace, making him wiggle, almost taking him out on lap 1 by putting him in the wall. And then Chase Elliott spun by Ross Chastain, heating up tempers, as Chase Elliott said over his radio that he wanted to punt Chastain. Ultimately, he never did end up wrecking him. Ty Gibbs legitimately just ramped his car off teammate Denny Hamlin, ripping Hamlin's fender off, and Ty got some air. Really interesting moment that not a lot of people noticed until it was pointed out. Also, pretty sure stage 1. Yeah, stage 1 it happened. And I may be wrong, so it was stage 1 or stage 2. I'm pretty sure it was stage 1. Ty Dillon getting taken out by Austin Cindric. Ty Dillon forced Cindric off the track, resulting in Cindric getting mad and wrecking Ty Dillon intentionally. Also in stage 1, we saw the likes of Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Kyle Busch battle it out for the stage win. Ultimately, none of them win. Bubba Wallace fell back earlier in the stage, but none of those top 3 guys win, as they all end up flipping the stage, and Bubba Wallace comes around to win the stage. So let's move on to stage 2. Good bit of stuff happened on stage 2. Ryan Preece ends up winning the stage, but ultimately we had the same leaders as stage 1. They end up flipping the stage once again. And some questionable moments went down in stage 2 that sparked some, not really outrage, but a little bit of calamity in the NASCAR fan base. Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Busch both battling for the lead intensely on stage 2. Down in turn 6, they both cut below the candy cane curb stripes very deeply, and everyone thought they should have been given a penalty, but ultimately we figure out NASCAR does not enforce track limits in that spot of the track, and that ultimately leads to how we saw in the end of stage 3 with Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell. I mean, they were majorly cutting into the paint on that corner. It was insane. And also, stage 2, just overall, really good battle between Kyle Busch and SVG. Those two, really good, probably should have won if it weren't for some of the mistakes. That Kyle Busch definitely made a lot of mistakes there. Shane Van Gisbergen got just really hit out of the way a ton. And flipping the stage, obviously, strategy usually works out. It did. That's how Ryan Preece got up to the front. Let's move on to stage 3. Stage 3, we kicked it off with a crazy wreck. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Daniel Suarez and Connor Zilisch. Daniel Suarez just goes around all by himself, no help. Car was just too loose, and multiple other things he said in his interview that led to him spinning out. Suarez gasses it up as he's spinning around, drives straight forward, and Connor Zilisch left with nowhere to go. Teammates collide right into each other. I mean, just absolutely destroying both of those cars. Connor Zilisch getting a tiny bit of air. Red Bull gives you wings. Aside from that, terrible way for Connor Zilich's first Cup Series race to end, going out, wrecking with teammate Daniel Suarez. Suarez obviously very apologetic in his interview for taking out. And Justin Marks, just hate to have that feeling. Hate it. All right, let's move on to the last about 15 laps. What an amazing ending. Not who I would have liked to see win, Christopher Bell, but I mean, what an ending. After that restart, Kyle Busch dominated the front of the field. I think he was just pushing it too hard, pushed his tires. Ultimately, they get worn out. Bell tries a dive bomb into turn one, misses. I think if Bell would have done another dive bomb, Kyle Busch would have won that race. But Bell ultimately did not do another dive bomb. Stayed behind him. Waited for Kyle Busch to slip up. Kyle Busch slipped up 3 laps in a row in that same corner, allowing Bell to get around him and drive away with the win. I think Byron could have won that race if he would have hit Bell out of the way. There were so many times when Byron was so close, but he just backed off. I don't know what he was doing. Yeah. I mean, Bell goes back-to-back after a controversial finish in Atlanta. Picked up first win of the season. Picks up a somewhat normal win in this race. I mean, you got to give it to the 20 team, though. Going back-to-back, really good start for JGR this season, aside from cheating. But, yeah, overall, pretty great race. The excitement we always see from COTA, what I don't understand is during around stage 2, this obviously wasn't on the broadcast or anything because they don't want to show that, but did end up seeing this. A bunch of fans left during stage 2. Don't understand what happened, why that many people left. It was a huge amount of people. Obviously doesn't look very good for people that end up seeing this, if this hugely gets out. It's really not going to look good. COTA is in a contract year, but I think that race may have saved it. We will be coming back to COTA next year, I think. Confident in it. As we should be. I mean, this race never disappoints. Always a great race. But anyway, that is all for today. Head to Phoenix next week, so Phoenix paint scheme preview will be coming out in a few days. And I'm going to start trying to do race reviews for every race. So this will become a regular thing. But thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.